guys, my name is Miss Julie and I'm the teen librarian at the Florence County Library. As part of our summer reading program, Imagine Your Story, we are doing First Chapter Fridays, where I read the prologue or first chapter of certain teen books you might not have read before. Today, with the permission of HarperCollins Publishing, I'm reading My Plain Jane by Cynthia Hand, Brody Ashton, and Jody Meadows. You may think you know the story. Oh, heard that one, have you? Well, we say again, you may think you know the story. By all accounts, it's a good one. A penniless, orphaned young woman becomes a governess in a wealthy household, catches the eye of the rich and stern master, and, sigh, falls deeply in love. It's all very passionate and swoon-worthy, but before they can be married, gasp, terrible tragedy is revealed. Then there's fire and despair, sometimes aimless wandering, starvation, a little bit of gaslighting, but in the end, the romance works out. The girl, Miss Eyre, gets the guy, Mr. Rochester. They live happily ever after. Which means everybody's happy, right? No. We have a different tale to tell, don't we always? And what we are about to reveal is more than a simple reimagining of one of literature's most beloved novels. This version, dear reader, is true. There really was a girl. Two girls, actually. There was, indeed, a terrible treachery and a great fire. But throw out pretty much everything else you know about this story. This isn't going to be like any classic romance you've ever read. It all started, if we're going to go way, way back, in 1788 with King George III. The king had always been able to see ghosts. No big deal, really. He didn't find them frightening in the least. Sometimes he even had amusing conversations with long-deceased courtiers and unfairly beheaded queens who were floating along the palace grounds. But one day, disaster struck. The king was walking in the garden when a mischievous ghost rattled the branches of a nearby tree. "Who's there?" called the king, because, as it happened, he was without his spectacles. "Look at me," answered the troublesome ghost in his most stately voice. "I'm the King of Prussia." The king immediately dropped into a bow. Quite coincidentally, he had been expecting a visit from the King of Prussia. "I am most pleased to meet you, your highness," he exclaimed. Then he tried to shake the tree's hand. This, again, would have been no big deal, but for the dozen or so lords and ladies who had accompanied the king on his walk in the garden, who didn't see the ghost, of course, only the king mistaking the tree for royalty. From that moment on, poor George was referred to as Mad King George, a title he greatly resented. So George assembled a team made up of every kind of person he thought could help him be rid of these irksome ghosts. Priests who specialized in exorcisms, doctors with some knowledge of the occult, philosophers, scientists, fortune-tellers, and anybody in general who dabbled in the supernatural. And that's how the Royal Society for the Relocation of Wayward Spirits was established. In the years that followed, the society, as it came to be called, functioned as a prominent and well-respected part of English life. If there was something strange in your neighborhood, you could, write the society a letter, and they would promptly send an agent to take care of it. Fast forward right past the reign of George IV to William IV, ascending England's throne. William was practical. He didn't believe in ghosts. He considered the society to be nothing more than a collection of odious charlatans who had been pulling the wool over the eyes of his poor, disturbed predecessors for many years. Plus, it was a terrible drain on the taxpayer's dime. Shilling. So almost as soon as he was officially crowned king, William cut the society out of the royal budget. This led to his infamous falling out and subsequent feud with Sir Arthur Wellesley, a.k.a. the Duke of Wellington, a.k.a. the leader and Lord President of the RWS Society, which was now underfunded and underrespected. This brings us to the start of our story. Northern England, 1834, and the aforementioned penniless orphan girl, and a writer, and a boy with a vendetta. Let's start with the girl. Her name was Jane. Again, that is My Plain Jane by Cynthia Hand, Brody Ashton, and Jody Meadows. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Flow Teenscape for all teen programs and other library news and events. Hope to see you soon. Bye!